Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, as well as Gemini returns $2.18 billion to earn users following their 18-month withdrawal freeze. About time. We'll also be discussing a big win for not the SEC. Judge dismisses debt box case and orders the SEC to pay $1.8 million in fees. Take that, Gensler. We'll also be discussing BlackRock's IBIT overtakes GBTC as the world's largest Bitcoin ETF. We'll also be discussing breaking news, crypto market to hit $200 trillion market cap within the next 10 years, according to the Animoca co-founder. We're also going to be discussing breaking news of El Salvador's Bitcoin and AI plans could boost their GDP tenfold by 2029, according to Cathie Wood, who just actually met up with President Bukele alongside Stacy and Max. And quoting Max Keiser, ARK Invest numbers are spot on. Personally, I borrowed against my Bitcoin and bought several properties and brand new buildings and hotels. El Salvador, like MicroStrategy, can outperform Bitcoin over the next 5 years. Move to Bitcoin country. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Welcome, crypto fam. We live and streaming on 5 platforms, live and in the flesh. I'm bringing the heat. Just like Puerto Rico right now, it's hot as hell. Same as Florida, it's like 96 degrees, family. Shout out to the moderators and everyone in the live chat. Greatly appreciate you. Special shout out to the X fam, Rumble fam, YouTube fam, Kick fam, and Twitch fam. Those are the 5 platforms we stream in live and in the flesh. Please do repost this, share it, like it. Spread the word. Let people know JV is live, and let's get it. Shout out DNA Noonan. Shout out Devon. Shout out Greg. Shout out JC Ice. Ice, baby. Crypto Today, what it do? Dirty in the building. Special shout out to Chandy. A few minutes before we went live, I heard the new intro song you made for the show, so pretty lit. Can't wait to share that with everyone else. Shout out to Highlander. Good to see you as well. What it do, Crypto Today? Appreciate the support. Shout out to Max Keiser. Just want to give him a special shout out for reposting 2 of my X posts for the live stream. And if you guys haven't already reposted the X post as Max did, I encourage you to do that right now. The more eyeballs, the merrier. And it also helps out with this algo, as you guys already know. ARK Fund is not looking good, says Fair Alert. Why would you say that? And what is the ARK K Fund? Please break that down for me. What does the K stand for there, family? Shout out to Jerry Reynolds from Bangkok. I know Max is invested into the ETF from ARK Invest, and he is very bullish on it. That's why I asked. JV, awesome show, my brother. Thank you, family. I greatly appreciate that, DNA. What up, legends? Shout out to Mick Lovin. What's the poppin'? And also shout out to the McFootinator. Good to see you as well. Shout out to all the bag holders, all my long-term hodlers, all my diamond hands. You know how we do. Neri. Good morning, family, or I should say good afternoon, for Christ's sake. It's 4 o'clock here. Yes, let's get it. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Mr. Bone Daddy. Bring it. And the rest of you guys. What's new? What's popping? Let's pump it up. Let's get this market back in the green. How about that?
Pump, 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 pump it up. Pump, 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 pump it up. Pump.
Let's get those numbers up, fam. Shout out Don George. Always an honor, brother. Good to see you. Shout out to the fam on X. Appreciate you guys. If everyone can repost this, it helps out. We'll get more eyeballs on the stream. The more the merrier, fam. Appreciate it.
Pump, pump it up. Look, pump it up if your game went long. When the dip hit,
You just ate like King Kong. Where you at? And if you got more than 5 sats in your stack, let's get it on.
More than 5 sats in your stack, then get it on. Had the people on my back
To get a song.
Broke, have a talk,
We smoked them like a bomb. Greg says, okay, Bitcoin fans, IBIT holds more Bitcoin than GBTC. There will be a supply crunch soon. So Bitcoin will make another epic run. When? 3 to 6 weeks out. Amen. That's one of the feature stories today. We're going to be discussing IBIT overtaking GBTC as the largest Bitcoin ETF holder in the world. It wasn't too long ago, before January 11th, before the e-test went live in the States, GBTC once had 620,000 Bitcoin. They offloaded over 300,000, and BlackRock probably has more than 400,000 right now. So it's wild how fast Larry Fink and BlackRock are stacking them sats, but I'm not surprised. It's the greatest form of money. It's the greatest store of value. It is pristine collateral. It's immutable. It's unconfiscatable. It's unf-wittable, and so many more attributes. You know what I mean? It's going to take over the gold market cap. Mark my words. Gold is currently at like 15, 16 trillion. Bitcoin is still a baby. You know what I mean? It's like nip. It's just a pup. Bitcoin's like 1.3 trillion. We got a lot of upside. I'm also going to be sharing with you guys today a $200 trillion market cap prediction, so stay tuned. 7 to 15 days. We about to go outer space where no man has gone before. Let's go, Serge. Shout out to Serge. Trump busy at the court. No wonder Bitcoin does not pump. That's right. We're awaiting a verdict. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see how this plays out. Yesterday, we talked about Robert De Niro fudding Trump outside the courtroom, and he got his arse handed to him by the New Yorkers, and good for them. Brooklyn, where you at? Yeah, you already know. And we actually discussed why that is. Like, why out of all the people, why is De Niro so anti-Trump and pro-Biden? Well, I provided the answer, especially on the uncensored version of the pod. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Couldn't be any clearer. GBTC had to dump. They had some serious liabilities to deal with. FTX, Genesis, yeah, they owed billions of dollars. That is true. They had a lot of liabilities. I think a lot of people also, on top of that, dumped it because they don't want to pay 1.5% fees annually when the alternative is 0.2%, 0.15%, or 1/4%. So they're not even competitive. That's why they said they may be announcing or launching a different ETF with lower fees. I don't understand why don't they just lower the fees on that one, personally. And it's also very interesting. Michael Sonnenschein, I heard word, was stepping down. I don't know if he already did. Barry Silbert already stepped down. So who really knows what's going on behind closed doors with Grayscale in particular and GBTC. No sleep till Brooklyn. There we go. Bobby really made an out of himself. He sure did. Everyone's calling him a mook. Now it's official. Al Pacino is the greatest actor of all time. Sorry, De Niro, you're not in the conversation anymore. Due to your damn politics, that's why actors should stay out of politics. Should they not? Let me know. Am I right or am I right? Shout out to relaxing meditation music. What it do, bro? Grant Noakes says too much. The Nippinator sleeping and channeling Satoshi. You know how we do. You know how the Nippinator get down. Let's go. Here's a little OG trump it up for you guys.
Pump it up.
Don't you know, trump it up. You got to trump it up. Don't you know, trump it up. You got to trump it up. And the trumpets are blown. Let's go. Exactly. Chandy already knows. Best part of my day, CNA and the coffee. Let's go, Darth Melda. Darth Melda is back. Should we bring back Darth JV? What do you guys say? Let me know in the chat. Do you guys want to see Darth JV? I know you experienced him for roughly 12 days during the termination, which got reinstated. Court dismisses jury due back tomorrow. Oh, no. 9:30. Now, how does this particular jury work? Does it have to be unanimous? Like everyone has to be like guilty or not guilty? What if one person just is like, let me know. I'm curious how that works there in New York. What up, L? What's poppin', broski? I make deliveries to the De Niro at least once or twice a week, and there's always protesters on him. Oh, wow. Like for real, Serge. That's interesting, and I'm not surprised. I think he deserves it, in all honesty. Greg says, look out for the shadow whales quietly collecting the biddies over the counter. They need the private deals. Jedi V. Where my Jedi family. Let's go. This sideways movement week after week is a bit surprising given the inflows. We're about to pump, though, like a mofo. You already know. We're going to trump it up.
Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up.
We like the fam-friendly JV. Thank you, Diana. We'll keep Darth JV for the uncensored version of the pod. How about that? When the YouTube stream ends, Darth JV comes out. He's resurrected like Lazarus from the dead. I want to see Danger Mouse. You want J to the Danger V? That gets dangerous, though, bro. Just saying. For now on, I have these shades on specifically for your own safety. Yep, it's a fact. I don't want my laser eyes to go out of control. Got to contain it. Where's the sage? I thought you'd never ask, McLovin. I thought you'd never ask. The judge gave unconstitutional instruction. Oh boy, that's messed up already. It is supposed to be a unanimous jury to convict. Exactly. So what's the special rules? That's not cool. Well, I'm sure he can then appeal it to the higher court. And I don't know. I'm assuming this is not the Supreme Court, but I would imagine Trump has every right, if the verdict don't go his way, appeal, go to the higher courts, right? Correct me if I'm wrong there. Big Virga here, Mexico in the building. Shout out Mexico. I'm going to sell some biddies to donate to Palestine and help the poor. Much respect and more power to you, Toasty Toast. Much respect. Palestine definitely needs help. J to the mofo, Danger V. That's right, Devon. Some of us like danger, but we wait to the rumble. There you go. 5.3 theory doggy, 80,000 the cycle. We keeping a trade sideways. Damn, that sage lasts. Yeah, because I have many sticks of it. This is just one of many sticks. And this is the original stick we started burning on stream a couple of weeks ago, so it does last a while. Robert De Niro will be known as Darth Mook. Quote of the day right there, Bobby Digi. JB, how long have we been live? No notifications since the ban. Yo, tell me about it. We're probably shadow banned, but we got our channel reinstated, so I can't complain. Is what it is. Mt. Gox recipients may dump their 9.6 billion in Bitcoin even if they bought the day before the hack. They are only up 150x, but whatever they dump will be absorbed quickly, says Greg. Yeah, the judge changed the rules this morning. Yeah, that's not a good look. I mean, actors don't necessarily understand politics, even if they schmooze with politicians, especially since they do. Yeah, there's a lot of, footage of, it was going viral. Him with Weinstein. He's on the list of the Gilligan's Island list. We, for censorship reasons, call it Gilligan's Island here on the tube. And also, he did the humiliation ritual with P. Diddy. He was actually dressed as a girl. This was all viral, just floating on my timeline on X. So you guys probably already aware. But nonetheless, fam, let's kick this mofo off, shall we? Everyone new to the channel, very important to smash those likes and subscribe, as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algo. And if you're streaming on X or Rumble, make sure to repost this, spread the word. Greatly appreciated. Today is pod episode number 1654. I'm your host, JV, and it's May 29th, 2024. Let's kick it off with our market watch, as we do each and every day. As you can see here, Bitcoin in the red, but we're still holding on to 67,300. Ether also down 2%, trading back under 3,800 as the majority of the alts are correcting and in the red. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we're sitting on a 2.53 trillion market cap with 84 billion worth of volume for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance has been back on the decline at 52.6%, with the Ether dominance at 17.9% even. And the Bitcoin market cap right now, 1.3 billion, just above. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours, we got Notcoin up 6%, WorldCoin, can't scan my retinas, up 4%, and Bidget token up 4%, as the majority of the alts, as I mentioned, are correcting and in the red. But let me know which alts in particular, if any, you're most bullish on for this particular bull. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective of the market on the day. The majority most definitely in the red, maybe 30%-ish in the green. And zooming out on the monthly to get a broader perspective, we can flip that. Safe to say 70%-ish of the market back in the green. And checking out Crypto Greed and Fear Index. We're currently rated as 72 in greed. Yesterday, 72. Last week, a 76. And last month, a 67 in greed. So there you have it, my crypto la familia. Let me know where you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to take us for this month of May, for the monthly close, as there's only, I guess, 2 days left. I'm sorry, yeah, 2 days. The 31st is the last day of the month. So only 2 days left, family. Where do you think we'll close? Above 70, below 70, holla. Preach to me, Pastor JB. You got it, Lock Sky. Church is in session. I'll be preaching the holy gospel of Satoshi for the next 2 hours. That's a fact. I appreciate you tuned in, broski. Just watched the cool short video titled Bitcoin, the End of Money as We Know It. Talk mainly about what money was and how things work. Right on. I'll have to check out the documentary. Appreciate you sharing that. Relaxing. Loud and clear, JV. Thank you, Bone Daddy. Still like Cathie. What's CAW stand for? I don't even know. And Tron. CAW definitely fits my personality. I just liked it. Oh, okay. Is it a new alt? I forget what it stands for, JC. Let me know. 68 says Steven. Word up. Above 70 says Molly. I think we have a lot of potential to close above 70. I think we could be back in the green before the end of the day. You know what I mean? Maybe by tomorrow. We'll soon see. When Bitcoin decides to pump, we pump. We could have an easy $5,000 daily candle as we did about a week ago. We had the demigod candle. Did we not? We pumped 5Gs. Steven says in June, 92,000. I dig it. Who'd I share the other day? One of the analysts said 100,000 by September. I think that was Rich said, Robert Kiyosaki. Let me know if you feel that can happen as well. CAW is crow with knife. Interesting. A crow with a knife, eh? Almost reminds me of dog with a hat. Tell me more about it. CAW is crow with a knife. Thank you. I mean, what blockchain is that one on? Let me know. Steve says 72 G's, baby. Well, considering we're still trading in the 60s, I'm going to play the hell out of this clip.
60 G's, baby!
It's orange panty night when you sign up to fight me back at your home with your wife.
It's red panty night when you sign to fight me, yeah? Back at home with your wife. It's a celebration.
Stacking Sat says 67,000 is a celebration. Facts. I don't stare at the short-term price. Seems pointless to me. I'm interested in where we'll be by the end of 2025. Well, how about this? Instead of the live price action, I just replace it with where the price will be in 10 years. And we just put like 15 million. That will shut the trolls up very fast. Right on, McLevin. I'm with you, though. I don't focus on the short-term price, but it is fun to watch. It is definitely fun. What's the second best crypto? I thought you'd never ask. Take it away, Michael.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Bada boom, bada bing. And so be it. Let's manifest 84,000 in June. Send it, Menendez. Connor for Prime Minister. Are you referring over in Ireland, right? Adam. Dollar on the rip. No interest cut. CW Bath on the move. Blue light special, buy the biddies. First you get the biddies, then you run the cities. Bitcoin is the king. That's no Diddy. Facts. Anyways, fam. Let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis. A little astrology for the broski, shall we? Headline reads, Bitcoin diamond hands cut the selling by nearly 50% at 73,800. That's the infamous current all-time high we struck back in March. How many of you remember? It feels like yesterday. So yeah, in a new research report on May 28th by Glassnode, they showed the selling pressure from the older coins is barely half as intense as the prior bull market tops. That's right. Where my long-term hodlers at? They continue to resist the urge to take profit, even with Bitcoin price action near 70,000. That's because hodl be thy name. We already know. Despite being in profit by an average of 3.5 times, the long-term hodler wallets are so far not selling their biddies at a rate that would make the current bull market unsustainable. Quoting the week on chain from Glassnode, as price appreciate in response to renewed buy-side pressure, the importance of the opposing side, the sell-side pressure from the long-term hodlers, grows in tandem. Therefore, we can evaluate the unrealized profit of the long-term hodler cohort as a measure of their incentive to sell, and their realized profit to assess actual sell side. So the long-term hodlers refers to the wallets holding inbound Bitcoin for 155 days or more and reflect what should be less speculative end of the Bitcoin investor spectrum. And using the market value to realize value, which is the MVRV metric, Glassnode showed that soon long-term hodlers en masse will enter historically high levels of unrealized profit. Bring it, quoting them here. Historically, the transition phase between a bear and a bull market sees the long-term hodler trade above 1.5, but below 3.5 and can last for 1 to 2 years. And they also shared that if the market uptrend remains sustainable, forming new all-time highs in the process, the unrealized profit held by long-term hodlers will expand. This will substantially elevate their incentive to sell and eventually leads to a degree of sell-side pressure that gradually exhausts the demand side. Now, let's also discuss long-term hodler sell pressure has noticeably contracted, even at the 73.8 all-time high. Long-term hodlers were not distributing to the market as heavily as during the prior bull market blow-off tops, quoting the report again. During the last two bull markets, the long-term hodler net distribution rate reached a substantial 836,000 and 971,000 Bitcoin per month. And at present, the net sell pressure peaked at 519,000 Bitcoin per month in late March, with approximately 20% of this originating from the grayscale ETF hodlers. Glassnode referred to the ongoing selling by investors in the GBTC product, an institutional investment vehicle that lost its pole position among spot Bitcoin ETFs by assets under management this week, which we'll dive into further detail a little later. We'll be discussing BlackRock's IBIT overtaking GBTC. And quoting them a couple more times from the report, in the wake of significant long-term hodler investor distribution into the 73,000 all-time high, sell-side pressure has noticeably contracted. The long-term hodlers have since started to reaccumulate coins for the first time since December of 2023. So there you go. Crypto fam, long-term hodlers, where you at? Where you at? We right here, dog. I share CNA on all the sites. I greatly appreciate that. Bone Daddy, much love. I keep saying this, BLX weekly since inception, the 1.14 fib equals $400,000 biddy. The 1.236 fib is a $3 million biddy. Post next halving 2028, the 1.618 fib equals a staggering $1.1 billion Bitcoin. Yes, billion. Good Lord, Greg, can we send that already and pump it up? Short-term estimations are exercised. Mid to long-term is competition.
Oh yeah, we heard Kramer report that. He said, sell, we bought more bags, till we got a sword back. Can't short your dork, we can't afford that. Wait for the pump to come, we should have bought that.
That's right. You can't short your dork. We can't afford that. I found Chandy's Bitcoin Princess on YouTube by that name. Chandy raps the best, better than the rest. I second that. There is no second best. She's the greatest, the GOAT. Respect, family. Make DJT the first bit president. DJT, that's the Donald, is that the Donald Trump coin? Or I don't understand. Or are you saying make Donald Trump Bitcoin? I don't get it. Bitcoin's president, or are you president of the United States? Let me know. I wish Canada would buy Bitcoin for the government coffers since our currency has been devaluing versus the US for years. Right on. I agree. Shandy is the best. Love all of her songs. Yeah, the first track she released was Bitcoin Princess. The second track is Can't Cancel Bitcoin. We'll be premiering it again during the Rumble version of the stream, the uncensored version of the pod. It's the new theme song for the channel, and she's already working on other additional tracks as well. So respect. Good stuff. First time I was goated. Good day. You deserve it, Chandy. Keep doing what you're doing. 100K, hurry up. I want to go to the Puerto Rico party with JV. That's right. Reminder for those that don't know, JV is hosting a 100K fiesta for Bitcoin when we break that six-figure milestone. And you already know it's inevitable. So looking forward to that as well. Join the Discord for more details. Discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. Canada in the building. Shout out Canada. First press that supports Bitcoin JV. Oh, that's right. I mean, hence why we trump it up, right? You got to trump it up, don't you know? Trump it up. You got to trump it up. Clearly, Obama was anti-Bitcoin. Biden clearly anti-Bitcoin. Democrats in general anti-Bitcoin. At one point, you had a leader in the Democratic Party saying he was pro-Bitcoin, but then he dropped out of the Democratic Party. We're referring to RFK and is now running independent. I saw some polls the other day that were shared on X, and it showed you RFK was actually winning according to a poll on CNN. It showed him like 38% of the votes, and Trump and Biden were under him. And I was like, is that possible? But the numbers could be skewed. Who really knows who to trust and what numbers are accurate? But I just found that interesting. Yeah, so it is what it is. Is Bitcoin a good stock? Bitcoin is not a stock, but there are a lot of great companies you can invest in that are pro-Bitcoin that have direct or indirect exposure to Bitcoin. MicroStrategy being a clear example, ARK Invest being an example, all the Bitcoin miners being examples. New York in the building, Brooklyn, from BK to the bridge. Where you at? We right here, dog. Speaking on Nipsey's behalf, top dog. He's checked out right now, but he'll be here. Yeah, I mean, he usually gives us an indicator every episode, the Nippinator indicator. Stay tuned. Lock Sky just gifted 5 memberships of the channel. Greatly appreciate that, broski. Congratulations, Mr. Menendez, the Dusty Hunt, Motivate, Patrick Bryant, and Rakondo Zed. You've all been hooked up with the MicroStrategy membership of the channel on behalf of Lock Sky. So show Lock Sky some love. Much appreciated. But anyways, let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss the latest good news from Gemini Earn. You remember when it got attacked by the SEC? Well, Gemini returns $2.18 billion to Earn users following the 18-month withdrawal freeze. About time. How many of you were impacted by this? Let me know. The Gemini exchange, owned by the Winklevoss twins, kicked off the process of reimbursing users of its now defunct lending program, Earn. According to the announcement, Gemini Earn users were paid $2.18 billion in digital assets May 29th today, representing 97% of the assets owed to users and 232% recovery following an interruption of withdrawals by Genesis, the former Gemini Earn partner. Quoting them here, this is just in. This means, for example, if you have lent 1 Bitcoin to the Earn program, you will receive 1 Bitcoin back, as it should be. Good for them. And it means that you'll receive any and all appreciation of your assets since you let them into the Earn program. I think this is fantastic news because you saw what FTX did. They took Bitcoin at the lowest price it was, like back when it was 16,000, and people who had Bitcoin stuck in the FTX exchange, instead of receiving their entire Bitcoin back, they got the cash equivalent at the time it was at the lowest, which is robbery, if you're to ask me. So kudos to them for doing the right thing here. The fund distribution was a result of a settlement reached with Genesis and other creditors in the bankruptcy process. Genesis Global, the crypto lender part of the digital currency group, filed for bankruptcy January 2023 after suspending withdrawals amid a liquidity crisis. In November of 2022, the court recently approved the Genesis to return $3 billion in cash and crypto to its creditors, quoting them here. This represents an unprecedented recovery amongst crypto bankruptcies. We reached a settlement in principle with Genesis and other creditors, which will result in all Earn users receiving 100% of their digital assets back in kind. Very rare indeed. Let's go. The New York Attorney General announced May 20th that her office secured a $2 billion settlement with Genesis to address investor fraud claims. The settlement ordered Genesis to return the funds to investors and cease operations in New York. Genesis has been accused of misleading investors who deposited more than $1.1 billion through the Gemini Earn program. And finally, it's important to note that the Genesis bankruptcy was not a crypto problem. It was an old-fashioned financial fraud compounded by the lack of regulatory clarity. Did you hear that, Mr. Gensler? Lack of regulatory clarity is the cause of this. So why are they blaming Gemini and the Winklevoss twins? It sounds like this is Gary's fault. What are your thoughts, family? Let me know. And it just feels good to have some form of a victory in the sense that everyone who lost their biddies is going to recover the full amount. So kudos to them. That's what's up. Yeah, so great stuff. Good on Genesis. Amen to that. Welcome all the new members. Appreciate you guys supporting the stream. #1 Daily Bitcoin Pod. And everyone who subscribed to the channel during the stream will get an on-screen shout out as well as on-screen recognition. So don't be shy. For example, Mr. Paul Fackrell. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Much respect. We need all the subs we can get. Look at Nipsey doing his thing in the background as well. And also shout out to Aiden Butler, who more recently subscribed to the channel. We appreciate the support. Does anyone know how to use those UK and Hong Kong ETFs or how they're doing? I don't think they're going crazy, but I think it's more of a long-term play personally. If I have any updates on the volume, I'll definitely let you guys know. Diamond Eyes and Laser Eyes. I think it's Diamond Hands and Laser Eyes, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah, good for them. Happy to hear. Welcome all the new members. Let's get it. Pump it up.
Yeah. Crypto to zero, they really thought that. Again, you can call me 3AC, cause I'm blowing it up. Short squeeze, more please, yeah, it's going to pump it.
Boom. Kind of nice to know if an exchange loses some of our biddies on it, we might get them back. Yeah, most exchanges, you will not get them back. I just think the Winklevoss twins are honest gentlemen, and they were running an honest exchange, and the SEC targeted them, going after all the yield programs, with Gemini Earn being one of them, but they still did the right thing. So I'm glad it worked out here, but that's definitely not common. That's why they said it's unprecedented. JB, do you think Charles Hoskinson dress he wore to his business lunch was pretty? Lunch makes me want to sell. I mean, if you want to transition, that's your business. No comment, but clearly we don't really discuss that guy on the channel. Not a fan of Cardano personally. He's an enemy of Bitcoin. And just because of that fact, you know, he's ultimately praying for the death of Bitcoin and ultimately predicting that's what's going to happen. So why should we waste any of our time or energy on that mook, for lack of a better term? Social, yeah, you get social credit points maybe with the Biden regime. I don't know. Lynn Alden has transitioned and holds the COQ coin. I'm hoping the meme coin will bring in the viewers. What meme coin we discussing here, Mr. Bone Daddy? UK ETFs are not available to retail. That's not cool. UK, don't get left behind. Make people move to the States, for Christ's sake. True that, JV. Cheers. Not a fan of the alts. Teach their own. I don't really judge. If you have an opportunity for a come up, take advantage of it. But there's obviously anything with a risk reward, you have to outweigh the risk reward ratio. You have to consider many factors. You know what I mean? Some of you guys have very high risk tolerance, and so you go crazy on these meme coins and the alts. Some of you have very low risk tolerance, and you just want a guaranteed winner. That's when you go with the King Crypto. Common sense, right? CW Bath JV. And the other news, I made turkey soup, and my cat peed on the floor twice. Why is your cat peeing on the floor? That's unacceptable. Especially twice. Right? One time, maybe it's an accident, couldn't make it to the litter box. But number two, I'd be having private lessons with the cat on how to use the toilet and flush, for Christ's sake. And don't say they can't do it. I've seen videos of cats going in the toilet and flushing. So if they could do it, anyone can do it. Big ups, JV. I heard they got thumbs. I don't know if that's accurate. I don't have a cat, so I can't tell. We're on YouTube. Thanks for the reminder. I got to remember that. It's your fault. I read all the comments out loud, and you guys trick me, and I think you guys are starting to do that on purpose. So I blame you. I take no personal responsibility. Everything takes longer than expected, especially crypto patience. It's a virtue. It's something required to be in crypto. You got to have patience. Amen. Really, this is a first. He is 100 years old. Oh, okay. If he's 100 years old, long live the king. Maybe you should have one of those chariots and just take your cat on a chariot. Maybe you and the wife pull up the chariot and just walk the cat around anywhere it wants to go. Show it some respect, especially if it's 100 years old like Biden. JB wants to use his keys in the next life, and this obviously does not make sense with the alts. Bingo. Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency you can take with you to the afterlife. Hands down. We've discussed this a few times on some rants, and I truly believe that. You can memorize the seed phrase, and they say the soul has memory. And as long as you could remember the seed phrase in the unconscious mind, which is very doable, repetition is the mother of all skill. You just repeat it inside your brain 1 billion times. It becomes embedded in your soul. And when you're reincarnated, if you believe in reincarnation, in which I do, then you come back, bada boom, bada bing. You got all your biddies, and maybe it'll be 1,000 years into the future. Try doing that with Cardano. Good luck. It won't be around in 1,000 years. Sorry, in my opinion, I don't like cats. Some people don't like cats. Some people love cats. Some people don't like dogs. Some people love dogs. Some people eat dogs. I know this from firsthand experience. I lived in China, and there were restaurants that served dog paws and dogs in general. The type of restaurants where the dogs are in the cages, and you pick the dog you want to eat, and then they cook them in the back and butcher them. Sick. Reality. But that's, you know what I mean, different culture. And in their minds, it's like, we love dogs, so therefore we eat them. We love them. Different culture. Explain that one. Bada boom, bada bing. Eye of the needle. You cannot take anything with you to the heaven. Well, here's another thing. If you don't want to come back, maybe you reach nirvana. And it's like, I'm not coming back. Why would I want to be reincarnated? Hell no. Well, maybe through a dream, you can channel the private keys to your future generations and give them the gift that keeps on giving. There's multiple ways to benefit from Bitcoin in the afterlife. Try doing that with the alts family. Good luck. That is sad and sick, but they're being genuine. That's their train of thought. We love dogs so much, we choose to eat them. That's their logic. I'm not making that up. I spent 13 months in China. In fact, crazy story, and then we'll continue with the news. One of the students, and he was one of the better students, had come from money. This was in a private school. So clearly to be in the private school, your parents have to be wealthy. And anyways, so he told me he had a pet dog and the dog died. Let's just say it got killed in the street, maybe got hit by a car. The whole family ate the dog like the following day or something. And I said, why would you eat your own pet? He's like, out of love and respect for the pet that we had. We love him so much. We wanted to always remember him. What better way than to eat him? And I'm just like, notice Nipsey left the room. I think we just offended Nipsey. Damn it. Let's continue with the news. It's your guys' fault. I take no responsibility. Anyways, family, and I'm being honest, though. That's not a made-up story. That's 100% legit. Let's discuss the latest SEC loss, shall we? Yeah, check this out. The headline reads, Judge dismisses debt box case, orders the SEC to pay $1.8 million in fees. That's what's up. The federal judge ordered the U.S. SEC to pay roughly $1.8 million in attorney and receivership fees related to the regulator's civil case against digital licensing, the firm doing business as Debtbox. In a May 28th filing with the U.S. District Court of the District of Utah, Judge Robert Shelby signed off on an order requiring the SEC to pay roughly $1 million for attorney fees and costs and $750,000 for receiver fees and costs. The order came the same day as one dismissing the case without prejudice. I personally love the fact the SEC took a big fat L. Good for them. The judge cited a March ruling in which a court found the SEC engaged in a bad faith conduct. Over a temporary restraining order to freeze Debtbox's assets. The firm later filed documents with the court claiming the commission's information was inaccurate, leading to a threat of sanctions. The sanctions against the SEC required the commission to cover all attorney fees and costs arising from the improvidently entered ex parte relief. Judge Shelby essentially ruled that all costs requested by the defendants in the case were appropriate, except one $649 fee. This is a significant win for us, said Debtbox in a May 28th ex post. It means that the SEC cannot proceed with cannot proceed with the case as it stands. The SEC lawsuit against Debtbox in July 2023 alleged the firm perpetuated an illegal $50 million crypto scheme. And since the company presented documents suggesting that the commission had made false statements and misrepresentations in attempting to obtain a temporary restraining order against the firm, many in the crypto space have cited this as an example of regulatory overreach. You hear that, Gensler? The commission has ongoing lawsuits against several crypto firms, including Binance, as Janet Yellen would say. And did you know Yellen is dishonest, as Tom Emmer called her out for? Yellen is dishonest, and so is Pocahontas. Kraken, Ripple, and Coinbase, many lawmakers in the U.S. and Congress have been pushing for regulatory clarity over at the SEC for their overreaching and all of that stuff. So, I mean, it is what it is. They're going to continue to make up their own rules and do things how they feel is best fit. But when it is corrupt and they start making up false accusations and shaking down companies for millions of dollars, something has to be done about it. So I am glad that this case will help set a President Trump for all this. So good stuff in my opinion. Overreach. That's right, Gary. Why are you overreaching? What's up with the overreaching? Binance. There's a crypto exchange called Binance, and we want to shake them down for $4 billion. So, CZ, you need to go to jail. We're going to replace the CEO with somebody we approve of from the inside, if you know what I mean. Binance. Sup from El Salvador? El Zante in the house. Shout out Julius and shout out El Salvador. Our feature story of the day is going to be discussing the latest with some brilliant minds, all masterminding in the same room. Bukele, Max and Stacy, Cathie Wood. Big plans ahead to tenfold their GDP. Lots of bullishness. Updates from Max Keiser. All are coming. So stay tuned. You want me to trump it up for you again there, JC Ice? I got you.
Don't you know?
Trump it up. We got to trump it up. Don't you know? Trump it up. You got to trump it up. Yeah, the only thing we know for certain about Yellen is dishonest. That's quoting Tom Emmer, by the way. Shout out Congressman Tom Emmer. We got to hold these clowns accountable. If it was up to JV, we'd fire Yellen immediately for treason. And we'd also get rid of that Gary the Worm for treason. If you'd like to see that, let me know. And while we're at it, we'd get rid of Biden for treason. Can I get a hashtag FJB? Let me know. Let's get rid of all the treasonous folks representing our country. Is that too much to ask for? Let me know. And I digress. We're on the tube. I'd hate to accidentally get terminated again. So we'll save this rant for the uncensored version of the pod. Stick around. Thamer, good morning from Africa. This one's for Africa. Samina, mina, waka, waka, eh. And shout out Shakira while we're at it. Just saying. Oh my God. Love it. JB's bananas. Thank you, Molly. Thank you. What's up, JBZ? Bananas. FJB, FGG, there we go. I'm digging it. Asking anyone, what is a mook? A mamaluke. It's an Italian term, us Italian Jews, to make fun of mooks. I don't know how else to explain it, but you're a mamaluke. You're a mook. It means you're a nobody. You're a zero. You're a mamaluke. You're a mook. That's all. I mean, that's how I use the term at least. FJB, in a hurry. Amen to that, Rudy. FJB says, Serge, mook is a fool. Exactly. Tomfoolery. So don't be a mook like Robert De Niro. Yellen is a felon. I like that too. Yellen is a felon. It got a ring to it. How about Yellen is a dishonest felon? That sounds good too. Ya mamaluke. Ya mook. Yeah, she can shake that little booty. Please don't say Yellen. We don't want her to shake the booty at all. At all. Ever. Stupido. El Stupido. You got that right, Dub Proof. Bitcoin to 32,000 still in play. Trump for king. King? Mohammed? You're not even from the States. You want Trump to become king? Are we in that era? Are kings coming back? Maybe. Joe Foolery. Yellen, the Binance felon. Yellen, the Binance felon. Got a ring to it. The lyrics are sounding good. Anyways, next story of the day, family. Let's keep it moving. BlackRock just overtook GBTC as the largest ETF hodler of the biddies in the entire world. So this is a big story. Headline reads, BlackRock's IBIT overtakes GBTC as the world's largest Bitcoin ETF, but we all knew this was coming. BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF fund reportedly surpassed Grayscale's GBTC as the world's largest ETF, tracking the price of Bitcoin. As of the end of the trading day yesterday, May 28th, the BlackRock iShares Bitcoin Trust, known as IBIT, recorded $102.5 million in inflows, while GBTC registered $105 million outflow. Womp womp. The inflow is reported to have brought BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF to a total. Okay, they're at 288,000. Okay. Compared to Grayscale, which now holds 287,000, despite beginning at 620,000. That's what I mean, yo. Bitcoin at the time of its conversion back in January, according to data from Huddle 15 Capital and the Apollo Bitcoin Tracker. Now, a May 29th report from Bloomberg, citing its own compiled data, said the fund held almost 20 billion of Bitcoin as of Tuesday, while Grayscale held 19.6 billion. Fidelity's ETF offering trailed at 11.1 billion, quoting them here. There is a new king in the land of Bitcoin ETFs, and it is BlackRock. Now, both ETFs launched on the same day back on January 11th. And BlackRock's ETF has since accounted for the lion's share of inflows across the 11 spot Bitcoin ETFs. Bitcoin is up was up. I think we captured actually 2 days ago. We hit 70,500, had a bit of a correction since then, still holding strong though above 67. Recent regulatory filing shows BlackRock's income and bond-focused funds bought shares of the Bitcoin ETF for the first quarter. We also have BlackRock Strategic Income Opportunities Fund, which snapped up 3.5 milli worth of the iShares Bitcoin Trust, while the Strategic Global Bond Fund made a 485,000 purchase. According to the May 28 Securities and Exchange Commission filings, spot Bitcoin ETFs globally now hold over 1 million Bitcoin, worth over $68 billion, equating to nearly 5% of the Bitcoin circulating supply. And Satoshi has 1 million Bitcoin, so there's 10% of the circulating supply family. Meanwhile, all eyes are peeled on the potential launch of the spot Ether ETFs, which analysts tip could launch as early as mid-June. That's right. More recently, the SEC had to give the green light and the nod for the Ethereum spot ETFs, and some analysts are anticipating that to come to fruition as far as a launch here soon. The ETFs are undergoing an S1 approval process, the final hurdle required before they can begin trading on their respective stock exchanges. So there you have it. Crypto fam, how much Bitcoin do you think Larry Fink's BlackRock will eventually acquire? Because they ain't slowing down, yo. They're only going to continue to go. We have a very finite limited supply of Bitcoin. So can you say supply shock? Let's read those questions and comments. Here we go. Hey, I'm not a fan of Larry Rat Fink, but he runs the most successful asset funds in the streets. That's right. Hands down, they're looking to tokenize the world. That's what they're known for. There is a name for them. We call them poor. Those are the folks who hodl fiat, right, at the bank, according to Sailor. FOMO is a-coming. I miss you so much yesterday. Dang it, JB. You have that Shakira song in my head now. I mean, it was in my head for like a decade, so sorry. Just passing it along. Samina, mina, waka, waka, eh. Bitcoin kings in theory, metaphor, word. Fam, I will talk about the meme during the live Q&A. Sounds good, Mr. Bone Daddy? Looking forward to it. I support whoever makes me the money, says Lewis. Well, who's making you the money right now that you support? Let me know. Hopefully I'm making you money and you support me some way, somehow. You're seeing fantastic profits in your Bitcoin portfolio. Poor like the next bear, which is, what is that? 94% water? Speaking of water.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water.
That's right. Anyways, fam, if you're just joining the stream, welcome. We're streaming live on X, Rumble, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. And if you guys can repost this over on X, it's greatly appreciated. And if you guys want to interact in the chat, which I encourage you to do, being it's a live and interactive show, I encourage you to visit the YouTube channel. The direct URL is cryptonewsalerts.net and interact. Let me know your comments. I'll read them all out loud to the best of my abilities. And when we get to the live Q&A segment, you can ask me anything you like. So let's do it up. Be Bitcoin, my friend. You put Bitcoin on the exchange, it becomes the exchange. Now, Bitcoin can crash or it can flow. Be Bitcoin, my friend. Shout out Bruce Lee. Who's a selling? You want to know who's selling? Mooks and Mamalukes. How do you like that? You better get your Bitcoin and never sell them. Bitcoin can only increase its value in the future due to the limited token circulation. Nothing else. Tell them, Karaoke Asia. Now, it's ironic. Your name is Karaoke Asia because living in China for 13 months back in the day, karaoke is the most popular thing for the Chinese people to do. I think it was called KTV, Karaoke TV. And there's 1 million karaoke bars, like 1 million of them. And it's like their favorite pastime, karaoke. So you ain't playing when you say Karaoke Asia. That's a hot market right there. That's like AI and Bitcoin combined over there in Asia. Just saying. Get Bitcoin. They're going fast. Tell them, JBZ. Tell them. Anyways, fam, let's keep it moving. We still got a lot to share. I want to discuss with you this $200 trillion Dollar market cap prediction for crypto, 200 trillion. The all-time high is like 3 trillion. So that's a pretty bullish prediction. And then we'll discuss the latest of what's happening in El Salvador with Cathie Wood, Bukele, Max Keiser, and the rest of them. And then we'll dive into some live Q&A. Welcome everyone just joining the stream. Headline here reads, crypto market to hit 200 trillion within 10 years, according to Animoca's co-founder. That's right. The value of the global crypto ecosystem will grow exponentially in the coming years and has the potential to grow up to 200 times in a decade, according to the co-founder of the Hong Kong-based game software company and venture capital firm Animoca Brands. The crypto market, valued roughly right now at 2.7 trillion, is likely to double or triple soon. Yatsu predicted in the latest episode of the Valor Pod. He said here, in the near term, within 12 to 18 months, we can conceive of a doubling or a tripling of the space, expressing confidence that the industry will continue hitting new milestones afterward. He also said, basically, over a 5 or 10 year period, I'm expecting the space to accelerate 100 to 200 times to 200 trillion, or even bigger. I think we could reach that kind of number within a decade. The projected growth will be driven by the billions of people who become digital property owners in the Web3 ecosystem. Quoting him again, it is entirely conceivable that we are going to have a billion property owners because we are going to have a billion token holders. This is not possible in the physical world. And in the pod, he also opined that Asia has established itself as the fastest growing Web3 market, while jurisdictions like the US have been lagging behind. Quoting him again, right now, the leading force in Web3 is clearly Asia, the executive argued, referring to the solid adoption levels in the space like Southeast Asia, Hong Kong, and Japan. He also said normally the West, specifically the US, tends to lead in all technology areas, but in Web3 it has fallen behind for obvious reasons, partially also because there has been uncertainty on the regulatory side. Do you hear that, Gary? And for that reason, I think Asia is leading and will continue to lead. His optimism about the potential growth of the Web3 market aligns with his bullish stance on Bitcoin, as we know is the largest crypto with a 1.3 trillion market cap at the time of the stream. And in April, he made another bold long-term prediction saying what he does not doubt, the Bitcoin will reach $1 million per coin one day. And I obviously agree. I think that one day will come a lot sooner than most people are anticipating. But what are your thoughts? Let me know. Do you agree that we can likely see a 200 trillion crypto market cap and a easy peasy 1 million BTC? And by what year? Holla at your boy and let's go. That's what's up. Thanks for the numbers there, JC Ice. We got almost 300 people already on X. We appreciate the support, family. Be sure to repost this. Spread the word. Thank you, guys. They're coming for your sats. Facts. Truth, 21 million Bitcoin ever actually is 276 cubed, which is a few more than 21 million. Interesting. 3.6 million are permanently lost. Over 1 million are held in about 100 Satoshi original wallets. So only 16.4 million ever. That's right. By Satoshi keeping the 1.1 million bitties in those wallets, collectively, the accumulation number there, that is a donation to all Bitcoiners of the network, making the asset that much more scarce. So consider that. If there's only 16.4 million Bitcoin ever, and ETFs already have 1 million of them, Max Keiser may already have 1 million of them, MicroStrategy has over 200,000 of them, Cathie Wood has a fantastic number of them. There's not a lot to go around, family. Bukele, El Salvador has a decent number of them. And we're just getting started. So can you say Bitcoin supply shock incoming? And here's some words from the Oompas.
Oompa, loompa, doompa-dee-doo. I've got another halving for you.
2028, next halving. Prepare now. Prepare now. If Sailor is the Wolverine of the Bitcoin X-Men, Gary is the Magneto. Facts. Gary wishes he was Magneto. He's a lot weaker than Magneto. Magneto is mentally strong. Gary is mentally weak. You know what I mean? And he's corrupted. He's compromised, bro. It's clear. He's complicit. I think he was personally, my opinion, I think he was complicit in the fraud with SBF and FTX. He's supposed to have been the guy preventing that fraud, the biggest financial fraud in the history of financial fraud to happen. And speaking of fraud, don't make me get the rant out of Max Keiser.
Wall Street is fraud, America is fraud, the world is fraud, banks are fraud, central banks are fraud. We live in an era of fraud.
Yes, sir.
It's all based on fraud, and they get a percentage of the fraud. That's the business model.
Now you know the business model. Mr. 100 is buying. There you go. That could be another nation state. So many. Trumpa Umpa? Trumpa Oompa? Bitcoin is almost as scarce as Nipsey is right now. Dude, I think Nipsey's seriously offended, bro. When we started talking about eating dog, he just left the room and he hasn't returned. I'm kind of concerned. What are you going to do? I don't know. It's not right. Maybe thinks we're going to eat him, for all we know. Damn it. Bitcoin is almost as... Criminals, drug traffickers, anti-money laundering, tax avoidance, the largest corporate fine at the time. Take it away, Jamie.
Bitcoin, etc. You pointed out the only true use case for it is criminals, drug traffickers, anti-money laundering, tax avoidance.
Wow, he nailed it. And lo and behold, a JP Morgan Chase bank just exploded and killed people yesterday. That was trending on X. I said, this don't happen in Bitcoin. So be careful at the banks. Only keep in the bank what you can afford to lose, and don't show up at a bank if you're not prepared to lose your life. According to this footage I shared where a bank just exploded and killed people, right? Very dangerous messing with these bankers, specifically the Jamie Dimons of the world.
Criminals, drug traffickers, anti-money laundering, tax avoidance.
You know what I mean? This guy, that Jamie, a fan of the people, huh? Yeah, he's a man of the people. He's communicating with Satoshi in the other room, JB. Shh, don't let people know where Satoshi's location is. He's channeling Satoshi. I want to make it clear. Satoshi is not a physical being. He's channeling the spirit of the great Satoshi. It does not want to go down. Word up. Greed is so real. This don't happen with the biddies. Robert the Mookie eats dog. Man. Because it wants to go up. The only truth in the last 1 decade is Bitcoin's rise in value doubles each year. Nothing else. Bitcoin never failed me. I have my trust in Bitcoin. Shout out to Karaoke Asia. What part of Asia are you guys in? Let me know. Exploding banks. I know. Can't make this ish up. That was not a gas explosion. There was a fire afterwards. Thanks for the insights. You guys see that? No, you're not, Block Ersatz. You're live and in the flesh, bro. Didn't Obama eat a dog? Well, if you're talking about Michael Obama's hot dog, he sure has. He's eaten many of the dogs, if you know what I mean. De Niro is a mook. That's right. He's a Mama Luke and a mook merged into one. A super Mama Luke mook. Mr. De Niro, he is. ChatGPT says there are good odds, according to all their knowledge, of one specific person being Satoshi, and she named him, and he came just above the theory of the 3-letter organization, guys. That's interesting. Thank you for letting us know there, Chandy. Philippines. Shout out to the Philippines. I don't care. Satoshi can be a rock. Satoshi could be a pet rock. We'll still celebrate him every day. Absolutely. Robert De Niro is a car in front of the bank. What do you mean by that? No Diddy. Always no Diddy. HODL ETF hit 10,000. De Niro is a cafone. I don't know that word, but I know the word fugazi. He's a fugazi. There you go. Anyways, fam, keep the comments flowing. But now let's dive into our feature story of the day. The headline reads, El Salvador's Bitcoin and AI plans could boost their GDP tenfold by 2029, according to Cathie Wood, as shared here in the headline. That's right. But I want to start with a tweet from Max Keiser, because Max was actually just meeting up with all of them. You can see Max, Stacy, Bukele, Cathie Wood, and others. So I responded, so much brilliance in this room. And shout out to Max for reposting this. I greatly appreciate it. But you can see here, Cathie Wood plus Laffer Center plus Max and Stacy discuss Bitcoin and AI opportunities. In El Salvador, where President Bukele, Max also wrote, ARK Invest numbers are spot on. Personally, I have borrowed against my Bitcoin and bought several properties and brand new buildings and hotels. El Salvador, like MicroStrategy, can outperform Bitcoin over the next 5 years. Move to Bitcoin country. Word up. And let's see some other tweets. Cathie Wood wrote, President Bukele's determination to turn El Salvador into an oasis for the Bitcoin and AI communities, two of the biggest economic and technological revolutions in history, is the reason I believe that it is real GDP could scale tenfold during the next 5 years. That is real. Let me know if you agree with her. Max says the numbers check out. As he shares here, Cathie Wood walked us through the numbers. I'm a believer. I have a very high degree of confidence that ARK Invest's numbers for El Salvador's GDP, going from 30 to 300 billion over the next 5 years, which is 10x, are spot on. Have you booked your flight? And shout out to all the beautiful people of El Salvador for holding it down. So yeah, let's read a little deeper into the story. El Salvador can see its gross domestic product, better known as GDP, increase tenfold over the next 5 years if it stays with its Bitcoin and AI adoption plan under Bukele's presidency. And we all know Bukele just got reelected. Another 5 years, fam. Bullish. Now, President Bukele's determination to turn El Salvador into an oasis for the Bitcoin and AI communities, two of the biggest economic and technology revolutions in history, is the reason I believe the GDP can scale tenfold during the next 5 years, as Wood shared on X. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that sentiment. Bitcoin's integration into capital markets, AI, and tax policies were the main topics discussed between Wood and Bukele. Wood walked us through the numbers on how El Salvador could increase tenfold to 300 billion by 2029. And you can see another beautiful photo with Cathie Wood and Bukele. Mad respect. I would have loved to have been in that room, right? Now, Bitcoin advocate Stacey Herbert, U.S. economist Arthur Laffer, and ARK Invest research associates Mark Seal were also in that room in the meeting. El Salvador's GDP was 32.4 billion back in 2022, now up over 30% since Bukele first took office in June of 2019, according to World Bank data. If it reached 300 billion, it would put the Central American country's GDP roughly on par with Romania and the Czech Republic and Chile. Now, since Bukele's first presidential stint, El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender back in 2021, eliminated taxes related to tech innovation, and removed income tax for foreign investments and remittances back in March. It just keeps getting better in Bitcoin country. And in April of 2024, Google officially expanded into the country under a $500 million strategic partnership. El Salvador currently holds 5,764 biddies in its treasury, worth almost $400 million, marking a 58.6% increase from its average purchasing price. Take that, IMF. Now, Bitcoin's adoption amongst the local population arguably hasn't been as successful. A largely tech illiterate population, lack of merchant enforcement, and issues within the rollout of El Salvador's Chivo wallet in 2021 were amongst the most notable incidents that slowed the progress. Jamie Robinson, chief strategy officer of the Bitcoin hardware store, shared back in February. In 2023, only 12% of the local population used Bitcoin at least once to pay for goods and services. But I'll be the first to just share. We don't know if those numbers are skewed. We don't know the true, intent behind the guy sharing those numbers, because I find it hard to believe that only 12% of the population has used Bitcoin to pay for goods or services. I could be wrong. That's just my feedback. I want to know your thoughts. But anyways, fam, I want to know your thoughts regarding this major move with El Salvador, taking a strategic approach, investing in Bitcoin and AI, and doing business with Cathie Wood and ARK Invest. Do you think their GDP will realistically tenfold, as Max Keiser firmly believes so, Cathie Wood firmly believes so? So I want to know your personal thoughts. And also, more recently, Cathie Wood came out and she said Bitcoin can hit as high as $3.8 million now by the year 2030. It all depends upon the allocation from the major asset managers. I want to know your thoughts surrounding her bullish price prediction and your thoughts surrounding the GDP of El Salvador going to the moon, where no man has gone before. And how many of you are genuinely contemplating relocating to Bitcoin country? holla at your boy. And I'll read as many of these comments out loud. Welcome to the Q&A segment of the live show. We're live and in the flesh. It's 5:05 p.m. right now here in Puerto Rico and in Brooklyn, New York. So the stream you see, as far as the chat stream, is coming from YouTube. So if you're watching on Rumble or X or any of the other platforms right now, I encourage you to visit cryptonewsalerts.net on YouTube specifically, so you can interact in the chat, share your comments, questions, and I'll address as many as I can. Here we go. Let's rock and roll. Locked and loaded. I'm reloaded. Here we go. What would happen if the Fed put Bitcoin on their books? Whoa. What would happen? That's a fantastic question. Maybe Bitcoin would become a world reserve currency. Maybe. El Salvador is the blueprint. Trump is going to look at it. Man, imagine Trump pulled the Bukele. Can we entertain that idea for a moment? What if, just hypothetically speaking, right? Trump says, we're going to make Bitcoin a legal tender. I love what Bukele is doing. You know Bukele and Trump have met. I've seen pictures of them together. What if, just hypothetically speaking, clearly, what if he says, United States, we got to do something. Biden has put us back decades. The only way to advance us as far as a country, we got to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. What would that do to Bitcoin, bro? Imagine full support from the United States government, something we never fathomed would ever happen. What if? And Nipsey's coming back. Give him a warm welcome because you know why he left the room earlier, yo. Respect to the Nippinator. Next country, Argentina. I'm a little sus with Malay. Personally, I hope he does the right thing, but I think we may have been played, and he may just be another WEF puppet. But I'm on the tube, so I digress. Yes, I am moving to El Salvador, Bitcoin country, the new land of the free. An opportunity. Can I get a hell yeah? That Bukele is a good egg. He's a rare man. He's 1 in 8 billion, bro. There's no other leaders like him in the world that have the kahunas to say to the IMF, go F yourselves. You know what I mean? And actually sticking to his word. You got to respect that. Bitcoin will go to 5 million. Easy peasy, broski. I agree, Abel. Appreciate you sharing that. Love the dream. Martin Luther had a dream. JV had a stream. What's up, Nip? Nipsey's back again. Trump actually said he wants to take care of the deficit. The dollar would be too strong for your economy. This is a dangerous experiment. Better to wait until it'll be necessary. Loving the Nippinator. Respect. Nipsey's back. Signal soon. Prepare yourselves. JBI created a meme coin based on the running joke on the crypto news alerts. Cathie Wood Bathwater, CW Bath, the website and all the socials are up and running. You can find all the info. Very interesting. Mr. Bone Daddy, I guess we talked that into existence. So many jokes here in the show, and you made it happen. Very interesting. Appreciate you sharing. I don't think it's what if, I think it's when, says Matt. Bitcoin will become a world reserve for all the central banks, and the central banks will fail that refuse to adopt it fully backed. We're so early. Whoa. It's mind-boggling to even fathom that. I love it. Appreciate you sharing, Matt. I am not going to move to El Salvador, but I will vacation in Bitcoin City. Amen to that. Bitcoin City. First you get the biddies, then you run the cities. They not like us. Yeah, boy. They sure not.
Drop foot, but it's still not slowing it up. I can't wait till the Fed start showing its love. The full flag on the chart got me blowing a nut.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Facts. And I'll leave you with that. Behold, Cathie Wood bathwater coin emerges. Embark on a voyage where each drop of the mystical bathwater bestows upon your hands of unyielding diamonds. That's pretty poetic, Mr. Bone Daddy. Very poetic. Trump it up. Is it that time? Let's trump it up again. Round 2. there you go. We've already trumped it up at least a half a dozen times during today's stream. And we appreciate all the support during the live stream. Just FYI, you guys all know my channel on YouTube got terminated under false pretenses for like 11 days. We just got it back a few days ago. And they apologized, so it's all good. But at the end of the day, it definitely harmed the show and the channel in the sense that we have 70,000+ subscribers. We have hundreds of paid memberships. And it ultimately just reset a lot of stuff. For example, right now on YouTube with 73,000 subscribers, we only have 191 people in the chat. Why is that? Because we have been targeted. We have been shadow banned. We've been falsely terminated. They've done everything that you can possibly do to try to destroy me from relaying this message with you guys each and every day. But we're too smart for that. We're prepared. It's not the first time, won't be the last. So now we're streaming live on X. We're streaming live on Rumble. So Rumble and X are uncensored platforms. So that's why we have the uncensored version of the pod, which continues. Just FYI, if you don't know. The YouTube stream, when that ends, we continue with the uncensored version of the pod, and we continue with the uncensored version everywhere else. And then the podcast also does get syndicated on all the major podcasting platforms, so iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, etc. You can find all 1,654 episodes. So now you know. For now, you'll get it all back, and we'll grow in other places. Agree, Chandy. I'm with you on that. And stay tuned, fam. We're going to be playing the song, which I believe help us get our channel back here in a little bit when the YouTube stream ends, as it's an obvious diss track towards the forces of evil. That's why I'm in X. Amen. Amen to that. Support free speech platforms that respect the First Amendment. Clearly, they're trying to destroy the United States Constitution. There's no respect for it anymore. A clear example will be what they're doing to Trump right now, rewriting the rules in the courts. What's up with that? You know what I mean? 336 on X, so fatality. Unalivedality, I should say. So yeah, we're already more people streaming live on X than on YouTube. Go figure. Smoke that sage. DJ Johnny. JV Magic Hands and JV at the Night Voice making it pump. I got the magic hands, yo. The magic hands, the diamond hands. And the DJ JV voice coming to you live and in the flesh, May 29th. Bitcoin's a pumping? Not exactly. But the markets are jumping. We at 67.3 right now. DJ JV in the house. Give it up for J to the Danger Mouse V. Keeping it 100 as we trump it up.
Don't you know, pump it up. You got to trump it up. Don't you know, pump it up.
Yeah, I mean, ta-ta for now. Ta-ta. Ciao. I love the smell of sage. Me too. It's mesmerizing. It's like buying Bitcoin, buying every dip as I smell the sage. Wow, it's incredible. As I continue to stack sats, listening to JV's smooth voice, sparking the sage. How you like that? All the platforms are going to be fighting to have JV stream on them. Amen. Maybe one day we'll get a deal like a Joe Rogan and they'll be like, yo, we'll give you $100 million, JV. However many Bitcoins that's equivalent to at the time, I don't know. But all you got to do is exclusively stream on XYZ platform. Sure. Sign me up. Kind of like Rogan did. But now he's actually back on the tube. But I think it was maybe for, I don't know if it was exclusive for like a year or so. But he did exclusively put the full pod on Spotify with video, which was interesting, as most podcasts don't have video, but I guess they did something special for him. And he got this huge deal. And then he was putting, I think, the shorts and the clips on his main channel. So that would be something. Maybe one day that will happen. We'll find out. Don't like it. My ex, what? My Mr. used to burn it. Your ex, oh, that sucks. I mean, I love sage. I love incense. JV, I know you don't like attending Bitcoin conferences. Why do you say that? This is amongst YouTube, but I think it'll help your channel. I never said I don't like attending conferences, just FYI. I have attended, the Bitcoin Miami conference and such. But I I do understand and do agree with that. Obviously, attending conferences and networking can only help exposure. I'm aware of that. I used to host my own events back in the day and build things that way using the event model. So I'm very familiar with it. I am hearing more about Bitcoin or Puerto Rico being a haven for crypto holders, says Christine. Looking into the housing there, needs some palm trees. Word up. Well, yes. If you don't know, and you guys are kind of new, Puerto Rico is considered the crypto mecca of the United States, and I'll explain why. Because number one, you don't need a passport as a U.S. citizen to even come here. A lot of people vacation here just because it's a territory of the U.S. It may not be the main land, but it's a territory. So you don't need a special passport to do so. So if you have a driver's license or an ID, you can hop on a plane and head on over to Puerto Rico, which makes it easy. Now, it is considered the crypto mecca for this fact that if you get approved for your Act 60 decree, you can take advantage of zero capital gains tax on all investments, including cryptocurrency. So if you want to position yourself for zero capital gains tax while you stack your biddies in Puerto Rico, stacking them sats and buying them dips as you smell that scent of the sage, then you can take advantage of that. And if you get approved, one of the caveats, though, you do have to actually live on the island. It must become your primary residency, meaning you have to spend at least 183 days here out of the year. 83. But anyways, 6 months or more, meaning if you do make this your permanent residency and you do get approved for your decree, you can pay zero capital gains tax. Also, there's other tax benefits. I won't get into right now, but if you feel like hearing more about it, ask me during the uncensored version of the pod when the YouTube stream ends, and I'll break it down even further. Real estate on the island is getting expensive compared to when I first came here in 2008. Now, I'll give you an example. When we first moved here, we moved to Palmas del Mar. Private beach resort, beautiful. Most people that move here with families tend to pick that location. It's kind of far from San Juan. It's far from the airport. It's kind of far from everything, but it's beautiful. Some of my best friends live there. John Lee Dumas from Entrepreneur on Fire. Tika Tawari purchased my friend's house there. I'm sure you've probably heard of him before. A lot of influencers out there, a lot of money out there. There's mansions, there's, apartment, condo style, and everything in between. But long story short, so I was paying, I think, like $2,000 a month rent. Beautiful house, roughly 3,000 square feet, balconies, multiple balconies, overlooking the golf course. It's golf cart living. Like the entire community has like a golf cart trail, so you can just ride your golf cart everywhere. There's a school inside the community, so you can take your children on a golf cart to school, which was kind of cool. There's a bank inside the community. There's a barber. There's a lawyer. Everything you could possibly need is inside that one community. But long story short, the point I'm trying to make, that same house for rent now is at least 3 times more than what it was when I moved here in 2018. So not only has rent risen substantially, but real estate value in general is through the roof. That's not only a phenomena here in Puerto Rico, though. That's across the world. And it's due to inflation. The more money they print, the more expensive things go, and the less purchasing power you have with that United States dollar. Let me get back to the comments. I know I've been ranting here. Give it up for J to the Mofo, Danger Mouse V. Amen to that. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question there, Christine. But I would also recommend, if you're plotting moving here, first come visit the island. It's a beautiful vacation destination, and check it out for yourself. Is there YouTube crypto conferences? Maybe. I'm not aware of them. There's a lot of events and things going on here in crypto, but they're not YouTube specific. Of course. Magic hands again. I got you. I have been sharing the link to the show for YouTube. By tomorrow, I will link the X show. Thank you, Bone Daddy. We need all the help we can get. I'm in Fayetteville, Arkansas, but we are going to the Bitcoin conference in Nashville this summer. That's what's up. Shout out Arkansas. There is an old thing I learned back as a kid. I saw a saw in Arkansas that outsaw any saw I ever saw. If you saw the saw that I saw back in Arkansas, let's see your saw. I saw the saw that I saw back in Arkansas. Someone visited our school and said that one time, and I somehow remembered it. Weird as that sounds. Arkansas, let's go. Housing market is crazy. It sure is. Bitcoin to 100,000 soon. Send it. Karaoke. Asia, 2,000 is a good price for all those amenities. Oh yeah, 2,000, that was a steal. But my point is that don't exist no more. Now you get like a 1,100 square foot apartment for $2,000. That's life. I mean, you're not getting yourself a house. You're not getting yourself a nice house in a nice community. When I say nice, my standard of nice for $2,000 a month, that just don't exist no more. Yep. Thanks, JB, for the info. My pleasure, Christine. Thank you for asking. Sounds a lot better than London. Yeah, London and in Europe, it's like you get nothing. So it's not as bad as Europe, that's for sure. The ladies are going to have a meetup in Nashville. I need pictures on the Discord, please. Right on. Thank you for the sure. I bought the ticket, Shannon. Sure. Yeah. Read your previous comment. Let me see. Jennifer. Looking to buy a, what is that? Buying a place in Morovis, Puerto Rico. 54-acre tract of land. Wow. I'm not familiar with that city, Jennifer. I got to look it up. Morovis. I've never heard of that one. Is it on the West Coast? I don't know. I gotta Google that. Check it out. But that's interesting. A 54-acre property. Let's go. Prepare for thy revolution. I'm ready. I need a friend with a lot of acres out here. So I don't think I have any friends with lots of acreage. Let's make it happen. If I can help you in any way, let me know when you come visit. So still reasonable in ARC. That's good. I know Texas got very affordable housing. Drake just bought another mansion for like $14 million, and it kind of looked bigger and nicer than the $40 million Kendrick Lamar mansion he bought in LA. Location. My house is at the beach, has 4x since I bought it. Wow, what year did you buy it, Molly? And Dirty says yes. Hey, what up, Johnny? What it do? Shandy is a crypto dating website worth considering. What do you think? I don't know of any big names. The biggest dating website to come to my mind, in which I am on, by the way, ladies out there, is Tinder. I don't recall the other names or anything. I think Tinder must be the king as far as users. I could be wrong. I have no idea. But that's the one I'm on, ladies. Steve M, thank you for becoming a HODL Gang member for 4 months, family. Renting is Bitcoin on Coinbase. Owning land. Oh, I see. Analogy. Renting is Coinbase. Or let me rephrase. My apologies. Renting is Bitcoin on Coinbase. Owning land as self-custody. Brilliant. Great metaphor. 100%. Renting is keeping your Bitcoin on the exchange. Owning land is self-custody. Good analogy. It's called Hacienda La Tube JV. It is huge. Should I do the Trump impersonation? Huge. It's huge. But I can't wait to check it out. You got to send me the link to the property. I'll scope it out for you. By the way, if anyone has issues receiving notifications when the Nipsey handler goes live, all you have to do is change it to personalized notification to all notification. Thank you, Mohammed. So if you're not getting notifications and you got notifications turned on, turn them off and then turn them on again and make sure you have all, ALL, keyword, all notifications turned on. I appreciate it. You can't just print the biddies. That's important. Yeah, amen to that. I bought my house in 2014 and you said it 3x in value or 4x. Not too shabby. So what is that? 2014, that's a decade. So your property value more than tripled in a decade. That means every 3 years, the value just doubles. That's called inflation. We need to start a crypto news commune in Puerto Rico. That'd be pretty lit, Don. We can do something. We need more people to come out. I need more friends. Come out here. A federal judge has ordered the SEC. That's right. That was Debtbox. That was one of our feature stories today that I shared in the pod, Mr. Bone Daddy. Another big fat L for the SEC and Mr. Gary G. You feel me? What up, okay? What it do? The SEC was fined $1.8 million. Victory. About time. You reap what you sow, a wise man once said. My house here in South Carolina has doubled in value. How long did it take to double? Jennifer, let me know. I can't wait for my house to double in value, for Christ's sake. I just bought my house, I think in 2022. So it's been less than 2 years. But that'd be pretty lit. Every 3 years, your property value just doubles and doubles and doubles. They continue to print. The money printer continue to go. It's like all of a sudden my house is worth $9 billion. Interesting. So yeah, back to the Oompas. I love the Oompas.
Less mining rewards, more scarcity.
But let's keep it real. What's a $1.8 billion fine to the SEC when they just collected billions of dollars from unlawfully overreaching against crypto firms and crypto projects? It's nothing. Nothing. Nada. How was gas and ARK? We bought it in 2017. Well, good for you. That's not too bad. You doubled in value in literally 7 years. More power to you. Here in Cali, it's over 5. What was that for a gallon of gasoline? Bitcoin will double faster for now. Yes. Yes. The only thing is, though, we need a house to live in. So it's like you kind of need a house or you got to pay the ridiculous rents. And the rents right now are insane. Like my house to rent is like $7,000 a month. So I'd much rather be the owner than renting it. My house here in North Carolina is 1.5x in 7 years. In California, wow. Wait, you said 3.5x? Oh my God. Yeah, inflation in Cali then is on a whole different level, yo. You know what I mean? Bitcoin will be worth 100x more than any house. True. I love what Max is doing and what Michael Saylor do. They don't ever sell their Bitcoin. They borrow against it. There are clever financing ways to do this. So hold on to your biddies if you don't have to depart with them and you can have the best of both worlds. Don't confuse value and price. The value is set. Price goes up, but selling it to buy another house doesn't buy a bigger house. Been telling my dad that. Yeah, good point. So for example, you purchased your house 10 years ago for 3 times less. And you're like, wow, I tripled my money. And then you sell it and then you try to find a house, but everything is 3 times more money. So you can't really find anything else. So good point. Value and price, totally different. JB, 7,000, that's a lot. It is, but that's what rents are going for in my community. Hence, I'm glad I bought it. However, it did, I used a Bitcoin backed loan to purchase the house, and I had to settle the Bitcoin backed loan. It did cost me a lot of Bitcoin to buy this, to pay off the loan. Just FYI, to settle the loan, that is. So, but it is what it is. I needed a place to stay. That's inflation. The dollar is devalued. Exactly. Dollar's doomed. Dollar is mathematically guaranteed to continue to lose its purchasing power, as it has been doing a fantastic job at. And Bitcoin is mathematically guaranteed to continue to increase your purchasing power. Yes, in New York City, everything... Oh man, I remember back in the day, like over a decade ago, going to New York and visiting my friend's apartment. And he's like, this is $5,000 a month. And I'm like, it kind of looked about the size of this office, which is the smallest room in the house, just FYI. Hence why I chose it as my office. I think there's a 3-bedroom. I got the main bedroom. My daughter got the other bedroom, and we turned the 3rd bedroom into an office. And it's like, in New York, you can't get anything. Like everything is insanely overpriced, especially in the city. It's not even funny. It's crazy. You kind of have to be rich to own a property in New York City. Like probably be $1 million for a piece of crap. Am I right? Let me know. Someone that lives in New York. Grocery, and that was like a decade ago. So I couldn't only imagine what you need. You got to be like De Niro wealth, Tribeca wealth. You know what I mean? To be in New York City. Groceries have doubled. They sure have. Some would argue they have tripled. Depends on the particular item, right? New York real estate is crazy. And so the equivalent of buying real estate in the early 1900s is the same opportunity we have right now with stacking them sats and buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin is digital real estate. It's always going to be more desirable because everyone's always going to want perfect money. Not everybody is going to want this condo you happen to have in Manhattan. It's only for an exclusive person who wants to live there or purchase a property there. So digital real estate is the future. Physical real estate, yeah, we need a house to live, but at the end of the day, you can't even compare it to the digital world. Digital world for the win. Rich or wage slaves for life. My property taxes in South Carolina is $974 a year. I like it. I live in a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house with 3 people and 9 pets. Wow, that's fantastic. Very low taxes. Good. Wow, YouTube allowed one of my comments through. Good Lord, YouTube, can you ease up a little, bro? For real. Censorship is no joke. Shout out ersats. When I was a kid, I could fill a shopping cart for $50. Did I just age myself? I didn't know you were that old. Darth. Nobody needs to buy property in the real world in major centers. Now we live in a cyberspace. We can be done from any. Exactly. Good point, Matt. 100% with you. Here's what we're going to do. We've been streaming on the tube for 90 minutes. We're going to continue with the uncensored version of the pod everywhere except YouTube. So if you're on X, you're good. You're on Rumble, you're good. You're on Kick, you're good. You on Twitch, you're good. But YouTube, we out. We're going to end the stream. So please, if you're one of the 200-ish people on the tube right now, head on over to X or Rumble, wherever you prefer to watch the stream. And let's continue with the uncensored version of the pod. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I'll be back this evening for the premiere and also be back tomorrow, same bit time, same bit channel. Head on over to Rumble, rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net. Let's continue with the uncensored version of the podcast. Deuces to the tube. We out. Serge says, I just bought